what happened to the original plot of the movie? What happened to the original plot of the movie?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabby, and yeah, I will leave my Twitter somewhere here on the screen if you would like to follow me on there. It's a fun time. Yeah, so let's get into the topic of this week's video. Before that, I want to apologize. I do not know when this video is going to go up because my laptop decided to just stop. It decided to just stop working, and I'm in the process of getting that situation sorted. So if I don't have my laptop, I cannot edit. So I do not know when this is going up, but hopefully it'll be up soon. So let us get on to the topic of today's video. Now, I would first like to explain to you all how I found myself in this uncomfortable predicament. So, if you've been here for any length of time, if you've seen any one of my videos, I speak about Attack on Titan a lot. So, I think I have like 7 videos up now, and I swear to you, I talk about Attack on Titan in probably like 4 out of 7 of those videos. Rightfully so, because it deserves it. That show is excellent. So the episodes usually come out on Crunchyroll on Sundays. The last episode that came out this past Sunday, January 10th, that episode was excellent. But apparently I had missed the memo because they did not release an episode on January 3rd. I'm guessing it has something to do with holiday. I'm not sure what it was, but the episode did not come out, and I was expecting an episode. So I was going throughout the week with an Attack on Titan sized void in my heart that needed to be filled. So I said, you know what? I haven't seen the live action movies. I should probably watch those. Now, mind you, I had seen the trailer of the first movie, and before I had started watching the first film, I found out that there were 2 films. They made 2 films of this. Okay, not yet. But yes, so I was like, yeah, let me watch it. When I tell you, I feel like I've been to hell and back. I was aware of the films, so I said, you know what, let me watch it. I want to watch some Attack on Titan. I want to watch something that's Attack on Titan related, and this film is one of these films, actually, because there are 2 of them, are 2 of the worst films that I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's saying something, because I've seen a lot of crap films, but I think I have such a love and appreciation for the anime itself that the fact that the films are so bad, it's so disrespectful to me and my spirit. But you know what, let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you what these films are about, and then I am going to go into great detail as to why it just was not a fun time, right? So let's start, and I have my notes in front of me. If you see me like looking down all the time, I'm looking at my notes. So let's start with the first film, a synopsis of the first film. I'm gonna let you know, spoiler alert, nothing happens, but we'll get to it. So the first film starts off, we have our main characters, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. Mind you, they're a bit older. They look grown. They look grown. In the first episode of the anime, I think Eren was about like 10 years old. They look about 16, 17, 18, around that. I'd say they look to be about 17 years old. Mikasa looks a bit younger, so maybe 16, I think, or it could just be the actress, like her face is like very, like she has a baby face, but they look grown. They look grown, which that in and of itself is not a bad thing, but it's just a noticeable difference from the original anime. So they're like 17 years old and they're still surrounded by the walls. So like they're being like rebellious teenagers. They want to see the wall up close. So they go see the wall. And while they're there, we know this part of the story, the Colossal Titan just bursts through, fucks shit up. But as I'm getting into it, the scene, if it's one scene that all Attack on Titan fans recognize, or we recognize the importance of this scene, it's the scene where the Titan literally rips Eren's mother's head off and the Titan eats Eren's mother. That scene is probably one of the best scenes of all time. If not, that episode is one of the best opening episodes that I've ever seen of a TV show of all time. Why wasn't it there? You heard me correctly. The scene, the reason why Eren is so hell-bent on fighting the Titans doesn't actually happen. You know what happens instead? So obviously the Colossal Titan like breaks through the wall. We don't see the Armored Titan. We don't see the Armored Titan till the second movie. But we move. So the Colossal Titan breaks through the wall. And then everybody's rushing for cover. So they rush into this, like, it's like a shack. Like, it's like, I'd say like it's like a bar or something. So everybody rushes into there, and then in the process, so like Armin's already like gone look for his family. Armin has family in this. His dad gets eaten by the Titan in the movie, in the first movie. But Armin is gone looking for his family. So Mikasa and Eren are trying to get into this place. So circumstances, Eren loses Mikasa. And then he notices that she isn't in the place with him, so he looks outside and she's on the floor, and then some shit happens. Literally, I don't know what happens. Like, there's like a sound or something, and then he looks outside again and Mikasa's not there. So I already knew that she was probably alive. So instead of the Titan eating Eren's mother, we don't know if Mikasa is alive or not. So that's that. So as the movie progresses, we get a 2-year time jump. And Eren is in the military. Eren and Armin are in the military. They have just graduated out of the military. So they've been in the military for 2 years. They're just about graduated. And I missed something. I missed one of the most important things. So if you remember, the anime literally started with the scouts killing Titans, right? In this show, the director or the screenwriters, I don't know who was responsible for this, but this is an important tidbit. This is one of the most important things I think that I took away from this. They have not seen a Titan in 100 years. I want you all to listen to me and listen to this. So they have not seen a Titan in 100 years, which leads to a lot of implications that I will get into once I progress. So I left off. I said, okay, they're in the military. They're there. At this point, I feel like, especially for like this movie, I don't think that they necessarily wanted to be in the military. I just think that they just put the refugees that came from the first zone, within like the first walls, and they just put them in the military. So because they had not seen a Titan in 100 years, they had to come up with the scout regiment. Now tell me, how are you gonna come up with the scout regiment within 2 years? You're going to create ODM gear, because mind you, they have not been killing Titans, and you have to figure out how to kill Titans at the same time. Make it make sense. Hint, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So this is where I lose all sense and logic ceases to exist. So if you remember in the anime, and yes, I will keep comparing it to the anime because that is what we know. If you remember in the anime, they were thinking of putting like a boulder, like the big rock, to cover the hole that the colossal titan had made in the wall, right? These people's plan was to, so in the movie, the colossal titan did make a hole in the wall. Their plan to seal the hole was to detonate a part of the wall at the top so that the debris could fill up the hole, thus leaving a big hole at the top of the wall. Make it make sense. Please, somebody make it make sense. I will repeat this again in case you did not understand the first time, because while I was watching the film, I had to pause it several times in order to actually think about this information, to think about this is a tactic of war. This is what you want to do. This is what you are risking people's lives. You're risking soldiers' lives to do this. There's a hole. There's a hole in the wall. There's a hole in the wall. Instead of finding a way to plug up the hole, you want to detonate a part of the wall above the hole so that when like you detonate that part of the wall, the debris from the top will thus fall to the bottom to cover up the hole. What about the part at the top? If the colossal titan comes back, you're fucked. He can like see over it. Was this like a short-term plan? But I digress, right? I digress. On the eve of them like graduating, I think it was the eve, because the timelines in movies are like fucked up, but this movie especially, the time was so weird. So they are traveling by night because once again the Titans can't travel by night at this point. They need sunlight, so they're traveling by night. There are movies that happen at night, but this was so badly lit that you couldn't see what was going on. I need some water because the movie was so badly lit, and mind you, it's dark for 40 minutes. It's literally dark. Like, I kid you not. From the time that they left the base where they were traveling at night, I don't think it's been daylight ever since, because from that point onwards, the movie was just very, very dark and you could barely make anything out. So it was bad like as a movie, and it didn't even look pretty in order to cover that fact up. But let us continue. So they're traveling at night, and then they're traveling to see a captain. They're traveling to see a captain. This captain is known for killing Titans. This Titan is known as this captain is known for killing Titans. And then they say that there is a goddess, they call her a goddess, who is under this man. So I was like, like, is this where Levi comes in? Because we all know humanity's strongest. If you're a watcher of Attack on Titan, anytime you hear somebody say this man is like known for killing Titans, we're thinking of Captain Levi, right? Captain Levi isn't in this film. I don't know who that man was. I know his name. Captain Shikishima. I don't know. From what I was reading, because I researched, because I was very upset. I was very upset that Levi was not in this film, and then I looked it up, and then they said that Levi's name, because if you don't know, then the names of the characters of Attack on Titan, they're German names. So their reasoning for not having Levi in the film was that Levi's name, I think they said like the V, like his name isn't a traditional Japanese name, so it would not seem realistic. Their justification for not having Levi in the film is that his name does not seem realistic. Y'all are in a Titan world. None of this is realistic, so why? You're fighting Titans. None of it is realistic, number one. Number two, that's just lazy writing, because I'm pretty sure you could like insert like 2 sentences of plot as to why he has like a foreign sounding name. You can fix that with writing, with good writing, but the writers of this movie do not understand what good writing is. So we did not get Levi. Instead we get this old, no good predator. He's a predator. We'll get into it. So apparently, Mikasa's alive. Not apparently, because we've been knew that she's alive. But she has this big ass scar from, I guess, getting chewed up by a Titan. But they make no mention of how she survived, because that scar looks like the Titan had a good chunk out of her. But I was like assuming, so I'm assuming that the Captain Shikishima saved her. But she and this man have a weird relationship, because the way he was looking at her and touching, he looks 40, y'all. He looks 40. This man looks 40 years old. And as I said before, she looks young. She looks 16. So he is a predator. Once again, like, he looks 40. He looks like he is 40 years old. The man is old. The man is old, and Mikasa is 16. Like, that specific scene was so disgusting. And then we had that weird scene of that one girl trying to like sexually assault Eren. It was all bad. It was all very, very bad. So the end of the movie just coincides with that episode when Eren turned into a Titan. So the movie ends with Eren turning into a Titan. He like saved Armin from the mouth of that Titan, and he was eaten. The only good scene that was in this movie was when Eren was turning into the Titan. He literally clawed his way out of the Titan that had eaten him, and I thought that scene was that was the only good scene of the movie. So yeah, that was movie number 1. And after enduring that much torture, let me just see if I have everything, because my notes, yeah, I have everything that I wanted to talk about with regards to the first movie specifically. But yeah, that was the first movie. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. The Colossal Titan broke through. They joined the military. There was 40 minutes of nothing, and then Eren transformed into a Titan. Yeah, that was it. And after watching that, I decided, let's go watch the second one. Might as well get some content out of it. I mean, if I'm gonna suffer, might as well get the content, right? So Part Part 2 was a clusterfuck of a bunch of different things. And now let's get into part 2, and then I'll tell you why exactly I hate this movie. Why I hate that this has been done to the show. So part 2 starts off, I don't know if any of you remember, but in season 1, where they were in front of the military police, and Levi essentially had to like beat the shit out of Aaron. Levi isn't here, but that's where the second movie starts off. And Kubal, he's like the general. I don't even know who he's supposed. I don't think he has an anime equivalent, but he is essentially questioning Aaron. Are you a Titan? Are you a human? Aaron says, yeah, I'm human. And I know with my previous Attack on Titan video, where I did everything you need to know about Attack on Titan before season 4, I said that Mikasa was up Aaron's ass, and I wish she wasn't. This Mikasa didn't have a personality at all. I know I said that anime Mikasa didn't have a personality, but this one, first of all, the actress cannot act. She had this weird like face. I'll try to insert like a compilation of her facial expressions because she just had one. So Armin is trying to convince everybody that they can use Aaron as an asset. And then he's like, Mikasa, help me. Mikasa's like, no, I don't give a fuck about that boy. She did not care. And then all of a sudden, the Armored Titan breaks through and then grabs Aaron and then takes Aaron with him, unprovoked. I repeat, while they're doing this thing, the Armored Titan like infiltrates where they're at and just grabs Aaron, just gets him, just gets him. I still don't know. So when Aaron like comes to, when Aaron wakes up from where the Armored Titan has him, it's Shikishima. So Shikishima is the Armored Titan, and now he essentially tells Aaron that Titans were humans, as we know. At least it didn't change this. At least it didn't fuck up that part. So he tells Aaron that the Titans were humans, but in this story, they were a government experiment. No, a military experiment. I'm sorry. So the military were injecting Titan serum into people, and apparently there was a virus, and that's how all of this happened. It wasn't clear at all. It was not clear as much of this movie was, but that is the gist of it. And then he tells Aaron that his father, as in Aaron's father, was the one that was responsible for creating the experiment. So essentially, indirectly, Aaron's father is responsible for the Titans. And then he reveals to Aaron, I don't know if it was the subbed version that I was watching, maybe it didn't have correct subtitles. I'm pretty sure that it did, because I would believe this chain of events. He just mentions the word "our father did that," and I guess that's how he brings up the fact that he and Aaron are brothers. Aaron barely processes this information. Barely processes it. Oh, and I have to insert, he showed him all of this by showing him a film. He showed him a film. Aaron barely processes the information, and they just move on from that. Okay. I don't know. I just can't help but think back to when in season 3, when Aaron figured out that his dad had killed the founding Titan, or he had killed that girl, and Eren was in anguish for the next couple of episodes. So the fact that there was no, I don't know if it's the actors' fault, and I don't even want to blame the actors, because I've seen really good actors give shitty performances because the script was just bad. So I don't necessarily want to blame the actors. I just think the script and the story is really fucking bad, yo. So anyways, after that, they leave, and then while this is happening, so backtrack, in the first movie they brought up some rebels who were against the government, and then they stole, these quote-unquote rebels were trying to steal the explosives that they were going to use to detonate the wall. It came out of nowhere, so now they don't have explosives. So while this is happening, the rest of them, Mikasa's joined them by this point, Armin, Sasha. One thing I have to say, Sasha was as cool in this movie as she was in the anime. That was the only fucking thing that they got right. So they're doing this, and they remember that there's like a bomb somewhere. All of a sudden there's a bomb somewhere, and then they can use that bomb, since all of the other bombs, all of the other explosives have been like done away with. Like they stole all the other explosives exploded. So they're looking for this, and when they got that bomb, Eren and Shikishima have found them, obviously, and Shikishima has the worst plan ever. If I were a diabolical person, y'all are lucky I'm not diabolical, because my brain is like, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but I'm pretty smart. I know a thing or two. So his plan is that he does not want them to detonate the wall. He wants to break the rest of the walls so that the Titans can come in and eat all of the humans. And if the Titans eat all of the humans residing in the walls, then the military will be forced to kill all of the Titans, right? So when the military kills all of the Titans, he will kill the military, and they will rule over this land that has nobody in it. That was his plan. I will repeat, because I think that I need to emphasize the ridiculousness of this shit that I spent. The movie was an hour and 30 minutes. The second one was an hour and 30 minutes. The first one was an hour and 38. So his plan is that he doesn't want to plug up the hole, plug up the wall. He wants the Titans to eat the rest of the humans in the wall, so that the military will kill the Titans. Then he will kill the military, or they will kill the military, and so that they can rule over empty land. That was the plan that he wanted to do. I don't know why. I don't know why. And then that once again brought up several questions, because is there anybody else in the world? Because in the anime, like, Paradise Island is like literally an island, and then they have like other nations, right? Is all of humanity behind these walls? I don't understand. I don't understand. So after he says that, Eren and the rest of the crew are obviously like, no, like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't agree to this. And then they fight in Titan form. There was no Eren is an intelligent Titan. They're both intelligent Titans. In the anime, I know I keep referencing the anime, but it's good. That's my basis to go off of, right? In the anime, like, they're both intelligent titans, so there is some strategy to fighting. They were just punching each other out. Like, they were just literally just punching each other in the face. There was no thought to it. So, like, Eren ends up slicing the shoulder of the Titan, and then they go to the wall, right? So they have this bomb, they're trying to plug up the wall, and then the Colossal Titan, no, we don't know he's a Colossal Titan at this point. Kubal, the military general, I didn't mention this before, but when the Armored Titan came to get Eren, he stepped on the military general. So they're all shocked and shook when the military general, Kubal, he like shows up. And then he's like, I don't want y'all to like plug up the wall, like for some reason. He's like, I don't want y'all to plug up the wall. And then he tries to fight them, and they're losing because Eren is tired because he was just fighting his brother. And then Shigeshima shows up for some reason, and all of a sudden he has a change of mind and he wants to help them. He wants to help them all of a sudden. There was no rhyme or reason why. There was no... I just don't... If I were a director or like a screenwriter, I would not want this to be in the world. I would not want people to know that I wrote this because it's so bad. But he wants to help, so he helps them defeat the Colossal Titan. They blow up shit, they plug up the wall, so now the Colossal Titan is dead, the Armored Titan is dead, because they were literally blown to smithereens. Another thing about this show is that Titans are apparently immortal. That was just thrown in there, which it makes no sense, but okay, we move. So we end with them, Mikasa and Eren looking at the sea, because like it's literally not like in the anime where they had to like ride the desert and then go to the sea. It's literally wall and then it's like right over, like it's like if they would have stepped outside just one time, the sea would be at their feet. Like they wouldn't have to walk 2 steps. Yeah, so that is how the movie ends. I have, if you couldn't tell, I have a lot of thoughts. So bear with me, please. The manga, and I'm looking at my notes because I researched this because I didn't want to be talking out of my ass. I need to look, and I need to look one more thing up. I'm gonna look up where the manga was in 2012 because the writers did not read the manga. I don't think they read it at all, which is most likely the case for a lot of live action adaptations, but I would think that you would want to do this one very, very well. So I am very well aware of dates, and I take time into consideration. So this movie came out on July 14th, 2015 is when the first part came out, and then the second part came out September 19th, 2015. So I know that movies take time to make, so I did a little research. Like I literally just Googled it. You can find this information if you just like Google and read. So when this movie came out, we were on season 3 of the manga. So when I'm speaking in terms of the manga. So when this movie came out, we were on what would be season 3 of the anime. But the manga correspondent is when Rod Race was trying to convince Historia to turn into a Titan. So that's where we are in the manga in July 2015. Now, I don't expect for the movie to be at the same pace, but just to give you a timeline, right? So that's where we're at with the manga. We have the movie. The movie was put into production in October of 2011. So October 2011, this movie was put into production. Do you want to know where we were with the anime in October of 2011? In October of 2011, we were at the part with like the female Titan. Right? Okay, one. So October 2011 is literally just production. It's just being put into production. Let's read what happened with this film. So the director of the film left in December of 2012 because he did not like how the script writing for the movie was going. I wonder why. I wonder why the director did not like the direction of the script writing for this movie. Who knows? So that's that. Now, they get a new director in 2013, and that new director is also in charge of the FX, which is trash, by the way. If you didn't get that, the FX is trash. So the new director is in charge of that. So I just want to give you a timeline. I literally just want to give you a timeline because this is unacceptable. The thing about Attack on Titan is that the source material is so good. Okay, the source material is amazing. And the thing about Attack on Titan fans, I should know because I am one, is that all you needed to do was give us the source material repackaged and we would have eaten that shit up. I know I would have done right and done with the proper and correct pacing. I would have eaten that shit up. I did not need like extra characters. I didn't need any of these plot changes that you wanted to do. I was fine with my manga and my anime the way it was, the way that Isayama intended for it to be. I was okay with that, but you wanted to make changes. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to directors making changes and having their creative vision be seen. I'm not opposed to that at all. But if you're going to do it, make it better. Right? If you're going to do it, I want to watch this and be like, oh, okay. I don't want to watch like an hour and 40 minutes of nothing. That's a waste of my time. That should be a waste of your time as well. You want to know something? The original film made $46 million at the box office, and the second film that came out in September, the second film came out in September, the second film made $15 million. I wonder why. If this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, I'm usually not this negative. Like, I am smiling like a fool in all of my other videos, but this is a travesty that needs to be discussed. So now I want to talk about things that made the original anime so great in my eyes, and things that this movie and these directors and these writers just simply missed. And once again, I am all for like taking liberties as long as they make sense within the context of the story. Let's talk about the most jarring and the most stupid thing that they could have done, which resulted in the movie just being dumb as hell. They've not seen a Titan in 100 years, right? Which is completely different from the anime, because in the anime they've been getting killed and slaughtered by Titans, but we move. they had not seen a Titan in 100 years before this film, which means they had to create a scout regiment, because in the first like 10 minutes of the film, this one garrison member, this one officer from the garrison, he was telling Eren that they wanted to create a scout regiment. So at this point, they have no scout regiment. I don't know if they have ODM gear. I don't know if they know how to kill Titans. I don't know if they don't know what a Titan looks like, because when they came into the city, they were shook. Everyone was shook as hell because they had not seen a Titan. Why would you choose to do that to make it even harder for yourself? 2 years later, so 2 years after the events had taken place of the Colossal Titan infiltrating their city, we see Hanji. Now, if you know Hanji, they are mad scientists, but still badass. I believe the first scene that we saw of Hanji in the manga and anime was them killing Titans. Like that's what you saw. They made this person an idiot in the film. Hanji does not know how to use ODM gear in the film. She's a bumbling fool. Mostly all of the women in this show are written in this movie are written so badly. Hanji is a bumbling idiot, and I'm so upset that they did that to her. To them. Yeah, so Hanji doesn't know how to use the ODM gear. So no one knows how to use the ODM gear. I don't know how they graduated. I don't know how they left the military without knowing how to use the ODM gear, because at the point where they were fighting Titans towards the end, there were high-rise buildings. There were multiple opportunities for them to use the gear, and I was literally screaming at my screen, use your ODM gear, use your ODM gear, but they don't know how to use that shit. I don't know why you would do that, because I mean, it would make sense, because within 2 years they would have to like create the ODM gear. How did they create it? Learn how to kill Titans. How did they learn how to kill Titans within 2 years? How did they learn how to use the ODM gear to kill Titans? How did they use the swords? How did they how this is like, why would you make that executive decision? Okay, they have not seen a Titan in 100 years. That makes things harder for you as a director and as a playwright to get all of these things smashed into one movie. So that did not make any sense whatsoever. I was speaking about this before. The scene with Eren's mother is probably what drew me to this anime in the first place, because I had not seen something so jarring for a first episode, so it had me hooked. But it also gave you a character to root for. So Eren was annoying. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Eren wasn't annoying, but when you get to the root of the issue, he was a 10-year-old boy who saw his mother get eaten in front of him by a Titan. Even Mikasa did not look, because she turned around when Hannes was carrying them out. He literally saw his mom get eaten by Titans. So even when Eren would act the fool and act ridiculous, I would still remember that and just be like, oh, like, yeah, he saw his mom get eaten by Titans. Why was that removed? Like, I have questions. There are some things from the source material, even if you as a director want to take liberties, there are just some things that you just leave alone. Like, why was that cut? That makes no sense. It really doesn't. Even if you wanted to do something with his father, okay, but like, why was his mother cut? That literally gave Eren the bulk of his characterization. It kind of it like made his character. Why would you do that? Which leads me to the next point. I did not care about anyone in this film. I didn't give a shit. They weren't characters that you could relate to. Like, sometimes I hated Eren. Y'all know I can't stand Mikasa. But like, you still wanted to root for them because there was just something about them that was unique. You don't get that in this film at all. Like, I was watching, I'm like, I don't care about any of y'all. I do not care if any of y'all die right now. And that's not the attitude that you want your audience to have when they're watching your film for the first time. And there was this one scene where Shikishima, he was talking to Eren, and he asked Eren, like, why do you want to kill the Titans? And he didn't know. Anime Eren knew why he wanted to kill the Titans. So it's just a whole lot of nothing. It was like watching 3 hours and just giving me nothing. I would have said maybe I would want the films to be longer, but like, if you're gonna give me nothing, then why would I want it to be longer? When we get into like the second movie, plot holes upon plot holes upon plot holes. They tell us that, so they show us this like background scene of when Eren's dad was giving him the serum, and he gave it to him as a baby, and he tells Eren, oh, you're gonna save the world, or he tells his mother that he's going to save the world. Why? Like, we know why in the anime, why he gave Eren Titan serum. Like, we know why. But he gave it to him as a baby. He said he's gonna save the world, and we have no idea why. How did that happen? How did that happen? I still want to know how was Mikasa saved? Because that chunk, I don't know if I'll insert a picture of it. But that chunk that Titan took out of her should have killed her. I don't know about that either. One of the biggest flaws that this movie has is that it does not encapsulate the feeling of the anime or the manga in no way, shape or form. Even before the Titan killed Eren's mother, Eren was talking about freedom with Armin, about them wanting to see the outside world, about them wanting to go explore. These films feel very confined. It does not feel like, it feels like people are content where they are. It doesn't feel like they actually want to go outside and explore and see what's out there. I remember in the first film they were talking, they wanted to reclaim the territory of the first wall to use it for agriculture. They had no interest in actually finding out who and what the Titans were, because if we take it back to the first film, like, the general public wanted to know about the Titans, at least in my point of view, because it was like the quote-unquote royal family and the military police who were enforcing like calling things from the outside taboo and all of these different things. It wasn't necessarily the general public, because we all know that kind of thinking trickles down. So, and we know why the royal family had that perspective, because they weren't the true royal family. It was a whole thing. So there was just, even for Eren, and it felt so weird seeing Eren in this light, and even now as I sit to talk about it, even after watching season 4, the last episode of season 4, Declaration of War, when I think of that Eren and I think of this one, two complete polar opposites. These characters are bad. Jean, the character Jean is an idiot. Armin is not Armin, Mikasa is not Mikasa at all, and Eren is just not Eren. They did such a bad job at the representation of these characters, and once again, I'm not opposed to directors taking liberties with certain things. But I do believe that certain things should be left alone. Certain important scenes should be left alone, especially if you're making a film for a community like Attack on Titan. Some things should be left alone. And if you're going to change some things, make it better. Make it good, the things that you're going to change. In the anime, you get the sense that Titans are quote-unquote mindless, and they don't necessarily have control of what they're doing. They're just eating people to eat people. But you never see like a Titan toy with a human being, right? Titans are just eating people. They're just picking them up and they're just eating them. In the movie, it was relatively uncomfortable, and I say that to say, once you found out that humans were in fact Titans, I don't want to say it like softened you up to them, but you thought, okay, well, they don't have control over their actions and they're just literally eating people just to eat people. But in the film, the Titans were literally toying with people. Like they were like 2 or 3 Titans were pulling humans apart, and it just made it uncomfortable. Like when you found out that humans were Titans, you're just like, oh well, like they torture people for fun. Whereas in the anime, there's this sense that they're literally just eating to eat because they don't know, not that they don't know any better. Like hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to say. That, and then the other point is that Titans are quote unquote immortal. Where did that come in? What happened to the original plot of the movie? What happened to the original plot of the movie? Titans are now just immortal. That was my experience watching the Attack on Titan films. They were bad, and once again, I know I mentioned this in passing before, they weren't even pretty. The lighting was bad, the setting was bad. Those people look poor. And I know that they weren't like the wealthiest people, but like even in the anime, they didn't look that poor. Like the wealth increases the closer you get to the center of the walls, but they didn't even make reference to that. They didn't even make reference to the different parts of the scouts, the military police. They had Kubal, they had him in a military police jacket, or they had somebody in a military police jacket. I'm like, oh, the military police are here. They didn't make reference to any of those things. And I understand that you're confined to a certain time limit when you're making a film, but I would settle for like a 2.5 hour film of Attack on Titan shit. Give me that shit. Give me the content as long as it's good. But yeah, Titans are somehow immortal. They became immortal in some sense. I don't know. I didn't know anything while watching this film. I was just watching it and literally just going, what the fuck, every like 5 minutes. It was a lot. It was a lot, but I guess it gave me a video. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, probably like an hour or something, but hopefully I can edit it down. But anyways, that was my video regarding the Attack on Titan live action movies. Here's the thing. I always recommend people to hate watch things. So, for example, I love Avatar: Last Airbender. So I watched the movie knowing that it was going to be bad, so I can hate watch it. I love Death Note. I am planning to watch the movie. Hopefully it's not as bad as this one, but I watched these movies, but this one was just extremely bad. I don't know if I would recommend anybody to watch it, to be honest. If you love the series, like I love the series, I don't know how you could, like, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Leave your comments down below and I will be sure to respond to as many as I can. But yeah, let me know if you've seen the series. If you've watched the original Attack on Titan series, like, it's insane. It's insane. I just watched season 4 episode 6, was it? Declaration of, no, it's season 4 episode 5. It's a masterpiece, but these movies are just not it. Anyways, let me know what you thought in the comments below. As I said before, I will try to respond to as many as I can. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video. I have left my social media links in the description bar down below, so you can follow me on Twitter if you would like to do so. And if you don't mind seeing me rant, if you would like to see me rant about more shows that I love and enjoy, then subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so that you will be notified when I post my next video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and bye. See ya.